Hello. This area that I live in, it's a working class area. I suppose when I was growing up in particular, I was born just 15 minutes from here, and this neighbourhood would have been seen as a slightly rough place. You know, it was close to docklands, and you know, as kids we would avoid this neighbourhood because if you bumped into the rough kids there might be a fight, that sort of thing. Anyhow, I'm just going to walk a short distance here. This is going to be a short video. I'm not going very far, but as I say, it's a short video, not very far, nothing exciting, but I've just been meaning to do this, so I'll get it done today. Now, nearly there. Now where I live, as I say, traditional working class neighbourhood, used to be the dockland regions. You know, the dockers and rough and ready working class. And now today, of course, it's been gentrified. And this block of flats is a good example. Now there are maybe 5 of these gentrified apartment complexes, literally sort of 1 minute from my front door. Now, the people living in here would be mainly working class, not working class, middle class, and let me see. Oh, that. And now there is zero contact, and you'd be aware of this if you have these complexes where you live. There is zero contact between, let's say, normal working class people in this neighbourhood and the people who live in these flats. They might as well be 2 different planets. Two different worlds. Now you could argue, of course, that the people who live here, they're middle class people, professional people, what have you. You could argue that, let me see, you could argue that, well, different lifestyles, different educational backgrounds, you know, middle class people, working class people, you can't expect them to be living cheap by Joe. But
For a while.
yeah, you can't expect people to be living cheap by Joe. But wait till I get down here. It's William Key. There we go. There. Now that sort of speaks volumes. The automatic gate. And it's a big gate. And it's CCTV in operation. Now, as I say, these people who live in here, they have zero contact with the rest of the community. Now, as I was saying, some of that is understandable. You know, professional people, working class people, you can't expect to see them down the local working class pub every night. But the level of separation is total, complete, absolute. And there is no accidental, you know, you talk to people, let's say in this neighbourhood, people have lived here all their lives, they will tell you they have never, ever spoken to anyone in these complexes. The isolation of these people, the apartheid, if you like, it's so blatant, so obvious that it can't be put down just to cultural reasons or what have you. It's deliberate. Now, of course, all of these people, I'm quite sure, believe in diversity, inclusion, and all of that. And they will have their foreign friends and their black friends, and they will have travelled here and there, and worked here and there, and all of that. But when it comes to their own life and how they live it, they live behind big gates, very big gates, and there are lots and lots of security cameras, lots of it. And as I've said, zero. The children growing up here, they will never ever speak to an ordinary working class child in Ringsend. It's now, apart from everything else, it is of course profoundly vulgar. There's nothing more vulgar than security cameras and, you know, high railings and constant notice to tell you that you know, they're keeping an eye on everything. There is something genuinely vulgar about these places. But I always feel a bit shy sort of about talking to myself, in a sense, out on the street like this. I suppose I'll just have to get used to it. But, well, I'm sure you have gentrified flats in your own area, and there's no need for me to tell you all this. But it's something I'm reminded of every single day of the week, because I pass these places every single day of the week. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking for a second. Shh, 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 shh. Yes, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's something I come across every day of the week. I can't avoid it. And if a simple thing like the local supermarket, you will see occasionally, late at night maybe, one or two of the people from these flats that might pop in to get a bottle of milk or something. But you'll never see their children. You know how, well, years ago, if your mother needed a bottle of milk, you'd run down to the supermarket or the shop. That simply doesn't happen in these areas. You will never, ever, ever see their children, their teenage sons or daughters. It's impossible to overstate the level of keeping separate from the working class community that these people insist on. And yes, and as I say, it's profoundly vulgar. It's vulgar to the point of being brutal. It's a separate community, totally separate. And these people, they will have good jobs and they will travel and they will live in all sorts of neighbourhoods, and they will boast about their diversity and inclusion, but it's all a sham. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to make a video, I might do it today or tomorrow. I might go down to Docklands. This is maybe 10 minutes from where I live, and just walk around there, because like all these Dockland areas, it's let me see. Yes, like all of these Docklands areas, it's modern, sort of attractive, cool, but there are lots of steel fencings, lots of security cameras. As I say, maybe this afternoon or tomorrow, I'll make a short video, because it is what it is. But yeah, and sorry about the wobble on this. I seem to be a very wobbly person. And of course, the people who live there, you won't bump into them in the street. They would have totally isolated lives. There we are. But that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just make a very short film, a very short video. But and I'm literally surrounded with these what would you call them? These ghettos, these middle class apartment ghettos that people choose and pay high rents to live in. So I think I'll finish this here. Yeah, there are two communities living in this neighbourhood. The original working class people and the people who live in these new modern apartments. And they are two totally isolated communities. There's no contact. None. Zero. This is in a society which never shuts up about diversity and inclusion. But anyhow, that's that.